Welcome to the campus of MSU. I am joined with head coach Jaime Gordon, as tonight he has clinched a share at least of the OVC title as his team has knocked off a very tenacious, a very hard-fought match out of the Tennessee State University Tigers by the score of 25-17, 25-19, and the third set 32-30. Coach, break down a little bit of tonight's matchup. As you saw, two very evenly matched teams, a lot of grit and a lot of hustle out of the Tigers tonight.
Absolutely. They're such a talented team. And, you know, you and I talked before the match about how good they are in system. I mean, honestly, they may be the best, if not one of the best offenses in the conference as far as being in system. So it was key for us in the way that we served. And I thought we did a great job of that in the first two sets, kept them out of system, allowed ourselves to get into a bit of a defensive rhythm. Sharice Butler was fantastic all night. And the best way that we could defend her was to put the setter in a big, tough enough situation that was hard for her to get the ball. And then in the third set, you know, we made some errors early on. Our serving got a little less aggressive, and you know, credit to Tennessee State, they took advantage and really came out and fought. And we talked about that during the break as a team, that we know this team, we know the type of athletes, and we know the type of competitors that they are, and they're not going to give up. And it absolutely showed in that third set. Definitely.
One of the things, as a bystander sitting up here doing the game, what I really like to watch is just the quickness of Tennessee. You're not going to see that every single match because you have a lot of teams that run a lot of high ball systems, really slower high balls because they leap so high. But Tennessee really came at you guys very quick. Their setter did a tremendous job of really locating the ball and finding her hitters. What was it that you really told your attackers, or excuse me, your blockers and your defensive players they were going to have to do in order to really fight off the aggressiveness of the Tennessee attack?
Well, one of the keys, and we actually worked on it, believe it or not, in practice this week. I don't know that it necessarily showed as well as we would have liked to it in the game situation, but we talked about making sure that we were balanced and loaded early. I think that's one of the reasons why our middles struggled, is because they do run such a quick offense and they do attack you from different zones, that you know, our players, our blockers were loading down before they jumped, so our block was late a lot of times. And then they started to get a little frustrated, and you saw in that third set we had a couple of blocking errors, and finally got into some situations where we could have scored a couple points, but got a little bit overly aggressive. And that's one of the keys with blocking as a skill. You've got to be disciplined, but it's critical to be prepared. And against a team like Tennessee State that runs such a good, quick offense, has a setter that really has great vision, and so you can't really cheat too much against him, or otherwise she's going to expose those things. And you know, I think we finally you know, settled down a little bit in that end and fought and made a couple of good defensive plays.
Absolutely. Another great thing that I like to watch about your team, having been around them now for 2 years, not sure what you teach them or really how you recruit your athletes, but the composure and just the confidence. And obviously you are now heading into your 4th season of an OVC share at least, or a title on the horizon. What is it, as you were going to watch some really dedicated players in Shell House, you know, you've got some seniors that have just been worth their weight in gold. What is the trickle-down effect with these players, and what are you expecting with the rest of your team as far as when you lose those seniors? But what is it that you really expect out of your players day in and day out that really brings that composure?
Well, there's two big pieces. One is you take results and you throw them out the window. I mean, we don't talk about wins, we don't talk about championships, streaks, all that kind of stuff. That's a byproduct. So you focus on process, and the key to process is character. And we've got players with great character, and that doesn't mean, hey, they've got character in the sense of they're good and they're nice and they're caring, but they're motivated, they're competitive, they're hardworking. You know, yesterday we had a great practice. Erin Bohannon, you know, stayed after. She's like, hey, I want to get some more reps, so she stayed another half hour with us, and it's that type of character that fuels the process.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, hopefully you're lucky enough to enjoy some good results, and we've been on the nice side of some.
Yes, you've been very fortunate. Tomorrow, obviously, you have tomorrow's match, and then you only have one more match, and that's going to be your senior night or senior day. You're going to come across a very ferocious Belmont team tomorrow. There is no resting. There is absolutely no just sitting down and taking it off, obviously, is everybody is still going after you. So, you know, tonight you're going to get your rest, but tomorrow you're going to have to come out. And what is going to be your main focus for tomorrow's match?
You know, tomorrow is one of the things that is nice about playing Tennessee State and Belmont together, there are some similarities. You've got a great lefty right side that Belmont has, another great setter that does a really good job of seeing the court and seeing the defense and delivering things, and their middles are outstanding. So it helps a little bit in the preparation, but in my opinion right now, over the last 8 matches of the season, I think Belmont's the hottest team, and that's including ourselves. They've really gotten into a rhythm. They're doing some great things, and we've got to be able to execute on all facets of our game. We can't just rely on one thing or a couple errors here. Belmont's the type of team that's going to force you to earn everything that you get, and we've got to be ready for it tomorrow.
Absolutely. Like I said, Coach Gordon is here. He has taken a clinch of the OVC share this year, the title, in a 3-set victory over Tennessee State University. We appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck tomorrow, as they will be back here facing Belmont University. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with some post-game stats.
All right. Thanks, Angela.